Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
I forgot to bring myself in there. All right. We are I don't know if anybody is watching on Instagram, but we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That's 3 times the fanciness, 3 times the buzz, baby. How is everybody? It's been a whole week. Lots have happened. Lots of things have happened. Warner Bros. And Paramount and Netflix are in a scary or sexy menage a trois, however you want to look at that. That's all everybody's talking about. Diamond ranked up over $16 million in lawyer fees. That's fun because no one else got fucking paid, right? Oh no, we ruined our monetization options. We said the F word early. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I'm really stoked. I got a good group of folks tonight. We got some cool books to talk about, and we're gonna, talk about, did you notice I named the show Real Scary? Creating and marketing fear. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun chat, though. It sounds scary, but it's gonna be fun. But before we get to all that, we got some stuff we got to talk about, right? Because why? Because tonight's show is sponsored by Michael Gecko Adams, who has a new series, Hero, out from Keenspot. To keep up with what he's got going on, and trust me, you want to keep up with what he's got going on, get over to geckoadams.com and tell your shops to put Hero on your pull list. You can still get issue 1. Issue 2 came out in November. You should still be able to get them. And if for some reason your shop can't get them, you can go over to the Keenspot shop and get them yourself. Guess what? There's links in the show notes just to tell you how to do that. Let me give you a little sneak peek, chat. Everywhere, or not everywhere, all the books we talk about tonight, you're going to find links in the show notes. You can click them, go check them out, check out the people, so give them money, buy some indie comics, because buying indie comics makes you a hero. You could be a bad person, a real dirtbag, buy indie comics. It's like going to see a priest if you're Catholic, like reconciliation. You're just like, hey, Father, I'm fucked up, and then he's like, say 5 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers, right? You go into a local comic shop. If it's real bad, that's how you decide how much. That's wrong. That's, you go to spend money at local comic shops, but it won't redeem you. I wish it did. That got weird. All right. Let's talk about more stuff. Whoa, Negative Burns coming back. Hell yeah, it is, from Desperado Books and another campaign that's powered by Prana. Use that link in the description to check out the pre-launch on Zoop and peep the insane list of talent attached to this multiple award-winning anthology. It's coming back in a big way, and trust in the buzz, you want to be a part of it. I'm telling you. What else is here? Oh my goodness, Blam and Glam is back in pre-launch. You should go check out that sexy pre-launch page that I designed. I did a good job. We're getting pretty stoked on it, and there's going to be probably an announcement this week. Let me give you a little sneak peek at this stunner in heels, this sexy sci-fi dystopian comic. We're going to be giving the first issue away for free. So if you go to the pre-launch link and you sign up for it, guess what? That link's in the show notes. We're going to be dropping that issue 1. He's got 12 issues out. He can give the first one away for free, right? Richard Morgan is the one behind this. It is a cool book. Real stoked to be helping out with that Kickstarter. Or what else we got? We got something. Oh, here's something pretty cool. At the day job, Prana Direct Market Solutions, where I work with a bunch of cool, amazing people trying to save comics. We've been working real hard on something you may have heard about, Comics the Magazine. Well, there's a big buzzing announcement coming on Friday, and OMG, folks. Oh, parts of me are tingling just thinking about it. Sign up for the mailing list, comicsmagazine.com, or hit that QR code, baby. You don't want to miss what's coming. We got cool stuff happening. All right, you want to bring out some guests? You want to talk some comics with some folks? I'm excited. Okay, here we go. Our first guest, he's a real good writer who loves getting spooky. He's getting ready to bring back his bite-sized horror anthology, Morsels, to scare the socks off all of us. Let's bring him out, Mr. J. Michael Donohue. What's up, buddy?
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah! here to talk comics. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, man, these intros were just 5 minutes of ad reads. I'm already tired. I'm worn out. Just kidding. I'm stoked. I'm always ready. Stoked to have you on the show tonight. Stoked to talk about your new project. I got to read it. It's really good. The art is insane. We'll talk more about that when we bring up the page and take a look at it later. But how's life? How you feeling?
Good. I mean, it's just the end of the year. Somewhat relaxing, just to kind of get prepped for next year because, kind of have to do a lot of the marketing January, February, and then we're launching the first of possibly 4 issues starting in March. So,
wow. And you're
Yeah.
you're not all at the same time, right? But like pretty quickly, one after the other,
I
because
think-
they're done basically.
Yeah, I think they're not all done. So the One Good Scare, the first one's done. Jeremiah Sheik and myself have actually started on the second issue. And then I mean they're all in kind of different stages of, planning, production, such. But yeah, the plan is to launch the first one by itself in March. Hopefully maybe May, hit the second one, and then kind of every other month till we get the 4 issues.
Exciting. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
That's going to be a cool thing to talk about because a lot of people on Kickstarter are like 1 or 2 campaigns a year. Like that's a lot to some people, right? So like this bi-monthly or 3, 4 times, 5 times a year. A lot of people are they're hesitant to do that, right? And it's difficult, but maybe it's not as difficult as some of us think. We'll find that out later. But speaking of, Jay, you said something about a certain guy that you're working with coming up. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure we got him in the back room. Because next up, I haven't talked to this guy in a hot minute. Next up is a very talented illustrator and educator. I've known him for several years now, and I'm always impressed by what he puts down on the page. And he snaps a mean photo too. Let's get him out here, Professor JC. What is up, buddy? How you doing?
How you doing? I am well.
Awesome. It's good to see you.
Likewise, it's been a minute.
I know, man. It's funny because when we worked together, you and Mario were like one of my first industry jobs, right?
Yeah.
And you were not a fan of social media, and you were like, making comics is cool, talking to people about it sucks. He didn't say that. He likes the fans, but he actually, you were confused how to talk about it online, kind of, right? You like never knew like how to present what you were passionate about and stuff. And you've kind of, obviously you've kind of found a way. You've been making content, putting yourself out there. How's that all going? Yeah. What we'll get more into it, but yeah, like what's that like being one of the schlubs with a camera out there, like those weird, who's like, you better be watching me, somebody. Anyway, how's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of started getting into it this summer, and I realized like I'm doing these drawings, and if I do them in Procreate, it's already making a time lapse, so the video's already made. I just started posting them with some voiceover, and found kind of a niche with doing Transformers drawings for the past couple months, and I've been threatening to switch over to G.I. Joes or something else, but I got this Transformers Western that I've been kind of releasing 1 frame at a time, and I have no idea what's going to happen with it next. I just kind of keep going day to day, but
awesome. Yeah. Hey, whatever keeps you busy. And you gotta, whatever keeps you engaged with the art too, right? Like that, when you're having fun with it and, getting wild and crazy with it, that's kind of a way to escape from burnout and the
helps a lot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm stoked to talk more about that. We got one more guest to bring out, and then we can really dive in. We can really start talking about fear and comics and making money. That's what we're all here to talk about. That's why we all got into comics for women and money. That was a lie.
We can make money doing this?
No, you can't. You only spend. Someone's making money. We're all paying somebody to make these damn things. I guess the printer makes money. I don't know. What's up, John Westhoff? Everybody go check out Part-Time Comics. What a cool guy. Love that dude. Yeah, money in this economy. I don't know, man. We gotta hope. maybe one day. All right. Finally, I'll always let this guest on my show because it always gets delightfully weird when he stops by. And it also means there's an epic new comic releasing somewhere that you need to snag. He needs no introduction, but he got one anyway. Richard Fairgray, folks. What's up, buddy?
All right. I bought this hat. And, it was late at night, and I was alone, and I was sad. And then I saw this hat, and I thought, if I bought that hat, everything would be better. And the hat has now been hanging on my coat rack for well over a year. And I just decided, I looked at it tonight, and I saw Blake had posted that he was showing off about his T-shirt. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to wear my hat. And I've been sitting backstage regretting that choice. It makes a noise because of the rings on it. So that's where I'm at.
It's got ears and piercings.
It does. It has, it's sort of a punk rock Doberman kind of. I'm going to take the hat off, I think. It's I don't. I'm 40 years old. I don't think I can wear this hat.
I think you were rocking it. I think it was spectacular.
You think I can wear it backwards, like to be a sort of? No.
Oh, there's definitely an intrigue level there.
But, I look at it. I look at it sitting there. It's not just sitting on top of my scanner, and I think it's a cool looking hat. I bet someone would look good in that.
It's a story. It's a story. It's a story piece. You'll remember that forever. That moment. This moment too.
The time I spent $11 on a hat.
Yeah, the $11 memory. That's priceless.
I love these shows because this is where my internet friends become out loud friends. I've been following Jay, and we've interacted a little bit for, I don't know. Well, you're both going by Jay here, but other Jay I became friends with on Facebook yesterday. But Jay Chic I've been following online for years, and I don't think I've ever actually. We've never done a show together, have we?
No, this is the first time we've spoken in person. I'm a big fan of your work. And I when Blake was mentioning multiple Kickstarters a year, you came immediately to mind because I don't know how you do it.
No,
to be fair, I've only run 14 myself this year.
Only 14 this year.
Yeah,
only
the
14.
other
yourself, which means he's been in a couple anthologies and other things.
Oh, I'm not including. No, Jesus, if I include anthologies, no. I've had 19 books out this year plus anthologies, but only 14 Kickstarters that I had to run.
I don't think I've had 19 pages out this year.
I definitely haven't.
No.
We also someone agreed that the Cryptex says the hat is a talking piece. I agree. It's good. And no, Cole, you did not miss the dog talk. You got to find an organic way to get into the hot dog narrative. You can't just come in hot. You can't just come in hot, throw hot dogs in people's faces. You gotta.
Oh, that's the dream, though, isn't it?
It kind of is. There's this place here, Lambert's Cafe. Or it may have closed. It was there when I was a kid. I don't remember. Anyway, I think they're still there. I was on the way to Springfield or in Springfield, in Missouri. But they had really good rolls, and their deal is they throw the rolls at you. Like the waiters and waitresses walk through the restaurant and have this big bucket of rolls, like a stainless steel thing with a towel in it. Towel covers the rolls, keep the steam in. Once roll, throw a fucking hot roll at you, grab it. They just keep throwing it.
Are they lobbing it up, or is it like a real pellet?
No, I mean they're not trying to hit you in the face with it or throw a snowball at you, but it's a overhand. Well, depending on where you're at, they'll toss them across the room. It's a lob. It's a healthy lob, I guess I would call it.
Sort of like a baseball throw more than a.
Yeah.
All right.
Do they have any trouble with interceptions?
What'd you say, Jay?
Do you have any trouble with interceptions?
No.
I do want to roll.
People stealing it, fuck you, kid.
That's the incredible catch the fly with chopsticks thing. If you could just be there, catch the roll with chopsticks.
I guess if someone did, they could just throw another roll. There's There's plenty of rolls at this restaurant. Anyway, if you like dinner rolls, Lambert's Cafe, maybe something you want to check out. They're not sponsoring Blake's Buzz, but hey, we'd let you. Anyway, you always got to put it out there. You know, just let them know. Just let them know. They could do a nice little ad read of Lambert's Cafe. You know, right? Tell them Blake sent you. Catch a roll.
I mean, maybe just like
that doesn't sell you on a trip to Springfield, Missouri. I don't know what does. Goddamn. All right.
Here's the thing, like it might not be a bad idea, right? You know, like you just mention things and see what people will send you. Because yesterday, I was on Blue Sky on my Dicks by Richard account, and a dildo manufacturer who I follow posted a picture of himself saying that he had been mistaken for Santa Claus by a child. And so I jokingly said, just asking for research, could your lap support someone approximately my size and shape? And this delightful comment and my interaction with said dildo manufacturer has resulted in him sending me some merchandise, a giant alien-themed dildo that will glow under blacklight. So I'm saying, talk about the dinner roll some more.
After you used it, wouldn't it glow? Does it need to glow?
Firstly, this is such. So I built a haunted house for my wedding, and obviously there was a lot of blacklight in there. And so when I was building it, I was like, I got to find out if that's true. So jerked it real quick, and it doesn't. Yes. And so I did some research. You actually have to spray something on the jizz, on the sin, if you will.
Law and Order lied to me again.
No. You watch the show carefully.
I'm the special victims unit because you fucking lied to me, show. I thought
you gotta pay attention. They always go in and they spray this stuff. It's called luminol.
Okay.
And that will make things glow. Now, cat piss does glow under black light.
Oh, okay.
That is true. I've had some experience with that recently.
Your cat piss.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Laser tag arena.
Yeah, no, we got a new place, and one of our cats is having a hard time not territorially pissing in my office area. Mm-hmm. So you turn off the light, we have a little black light flashlight, and sure enough, the molding along the wall has little glowy splats on it.
Oh, so you know where to clean if you miss it?
Splash some vinegar on that and let it dry out in the sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got been tackling it with exactly that, a vinegar spray.
I've never owned a cat, and I know how to clean up cat piss. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me at this point.
Have you tried covering the room, like the walls everywhere, in foil? I've seen real funny videos where the cats jump on counters with foil and hop away because it scares them. Maybe if you just also it'd be cool to have a whole office covered in foil. Probably. You never know.
I haven't yet. That was one of the suggestions I got this week about just putting some maybe foil from about ground level to maybe a foot up or so.
Wow, someone actually. I was really trying to be unhelpful. I have seen those videos though, but I've also heard like some cats don't. Some cats don't give a shit. Like some people like put the foil like on the counter, and the cat was like, "This is foil, bro." Like I don't care.
If there's a cat that's not going to give a shit, it's probably my cat. That's her MO.
I just have dogs. I have two loud dogs. One's lazy, one's loud. Bruce is everybody thinks Bruce is on the spectrum, and it's because he is anxious. He is anxious. And they say dogs take after their owners, and we're all fucked up, right? Like every single one of my family. Like even my sister texted me today. She was like, I was talking to my therapist about like our parents getting older because it's like my dad almost can't. Like my dad can't drive at night, and he can't drive great during the day, right? he has this big Ford truck that my aunt gave him, and he's just like constantly hitting curbs, just like, and I mean like hitting them too, like just taking a truck, and it's like fuck, Dad, I don't know how I hit that. I was like, well, you turned too hard. Anyway, I know exactly how you. Anyway, I don't drive, right? So I can't really talk shit. I sold my car and let my license expire. Now I just have like a regular ID. So, but I'm gonna have to like go back and get my license again and like learn how to drive this giant fucking truck because my dad's like he's not like losing it or nothing, but he's kind of blind, and my mom's really blind. No one wants to get glasses. They all have healthcare. I'm the only one in the family who doesn't have healthcare, and like I would love to get new glasses and shit. Everybody's just it like boggles my mind. Anyway, my sister and I have had these long discussions like, why won't they just like sort of take care of it. Like we're not asking them to make crazy life changes. Just like my mom like has to get out a fucking magnifying glass like she's Inspector Gadget everywhere.
Blake,
like read
Blake,
stuff. And
Blake,
so
you know what this is about. This is the same fucking reason that I bought that hat. Like we don't want to admit that we are old. We don't want to admit that our bodies are falling apart and that it hurts to exist now.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I tripped on a curb a couple weeks ago. It caught my boot and I couldn't stop myself from falling, and I was basically dead for a good like 90 seconds there.
Yeah.
Dude, I hurt my shoulder sleeping and was like for a month and a half my arm was messed up. Like I pinched a nerve or something rolling over in my sleep. It was ridiculous. I had to leave Planet Comic-Con early last year because the backpack I had on my shoulder hurt so bad. And I was like, you can't fucking cry at Comic-Con, man. Like, and so like I packed light, like I had like a camera, like I barely had anything, and I was just like, I had to like walk. I had to like walk everywhere like this and kind of like hold the strap off this shoulder. And I was just like, this sucks so bad. I was just like, I finally like Ubered home. I was like, and then like, anyway, so yeah, I missed Comic-Con. What's this turn this pain into arthritis anthology? We should do it.
Yeah,
that's
just
what's
call it arthritis, capitalize
that.
the word art, call it like a joint effort. The jokes write themselves. This is terrible. Let's talk about horror. We're bad at comedy.
That is right. We were here to talk about speaking of things that terrify us and age well. We're not aging well. It sounds like, but horror does. The genre won't die, and it shouldn't. But it's very popular. And because of that, it becomes tricky, especially in the crowdfunding world, because crowdfunding is so popular anyway, right? It's always kind of a struggle to be seen. We used to all like wrestle for that Project We Love badge, and like you would get that and it would like mean something. And now like, sometimes even when you get that and get it put into that circulation, like that doesn't even save you sometimes anymore, right? Or move the needle or whatever phrase you want to use. But I feel like it's harder with horror because there's, whether it's spooky season or whatever season, there's always horror titles on Kickstarter. Like it's a flourishing genre. There's horror anthologies, and tons of horror tie-ins. You got to work harder to get your projects seen. A lot of you guys have loyal audiences, right? Like Richard has like the people that follow his plethora of releases a year, they eat it up, which of course helps. You can have like the good mailing lists. We're talking about like Jay's on social media. Jay Chic. God, I got two J's. It's gonna be hard tonight. We have J1 and J2, JM and JS.
I thought I'd forgotten it when we moved, but I didn't. I brought my copy of Octopus with me.
Oh, nice.
I really like that you started that by saying I tried to leave it behind.
No, I was just like,
it's like a Ouija board. It follows you.
No, absolutely. Like I'm really. I left a huge part of my collect. We own a house up in the mountains, and I left a huge part of my collection up there. Most of my like single issue comics, some long boxes, and a fair number of graphic novels. But I grabbed the essentials and brought them with here.
You're spoiling the illusion that comics don't make money when you reveal that we all have multiple houses.
I didn't say it was a nice house.
This is my house up in the mountains. This is for comic storage.
Yeah,
my mountain comic storage house. I'd take one of those. What's up, Michael Lynch? You guys should go. Michael Lynch has a lot of cool stuff going on. You should follow. He makes comics, and they're got gears moving for a new live selling network. Michael, I'm a dick. I can't remember the name of it, but if you drop it in the chat, I'll post it. But they're doing cool stuff. Good to see you, bud. Yeah. So horror. That's the one thing I don't like about live. Like people are always like, Blake, you always ignore the comments. You're a dick. And I'm like, then when I like try and do the comments, and you just like, you fuck stuff up, and you like get discombobulated kind of. My brain doesn't work that great anymore, guys. I'm 40 now. Icona. That's what they're doing. You guys should check it out. I don't know if it's live yet, but it's getting anyway. They're trying to make a more fair catered to to the sellers, making it fair for the sellers, easier for them to do what they need to do to sell comics. And I may be wrong here, but I know a lot of them do like some not safe for work stuff, or like not a lot of not safe for work covers and variants, and a lot of that too is like having a place where like artists can post stuff like that, and your algorithm's not gonna get hit, your posts aren't gonna get taken down, you're not gonna get demonetized. You're not anyway. I that's what I think they're trying to do. If not, you should, because that's a good idea. Someone should. He says going to be the number one place for art. Oh, for artists, actually, their own category. And yeah, all right, cool, sounds good. Artists selling their own stuff, right? So yeah, it's helping. Oh, hello, hi, microphone. Trying to help artists make money, which is good, right? Because Jay's got to pay for all those houses and kids.
See, what we don't know is he's posting all those not safe for work Transformer drawings on OnlyFans, and that's where he's getting all this money.
Yeah. Okay. He's greasing the gears, literally.
Yeah.
See all my pictures of Ultra's Magnus.
How dare you?
Oh man.
Optimus
has his blaster in hand.
There's like a dark Reddit thread somewhere where
if you could just do one picture of like Optimus Prime holding Perceptor as a microscope, looking down at his little parts, I'd really enjoy that.
I'll see what I can do.
I've now given all the information I have about Transformers. I've never seen a Transformers anything in my life. I just know about Perceptor for some reason. I know about Perceptor and cat piss. Wow, my TED talk is going to be good.
And dog hats.
I know about one dog hat. Here's the really upsetting thing. I was at a show in England a couple of weeks ago, and a customer came along who was difficult, shall we say, like just a very difficult person to talk to, very unpleasant. And after he left, Trevor Fernandez-Linkevich was at the table next to me, looked at me and said, You have the same dog hat as him, don't you, Richard? And I was like, I do. So the one time I've seen the dog hat in the wild, it was being worn by an absolute asshole. So now it's also like I need to reclaim the dog hat's power.
You have to use it for good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have to use the dog hat for good, dude.
I have so many better things that I could be wearing. I stole this jacket from a pilot, but no, it's all about the dog hat.
It's like finding out there's a TV show you love is also watched and loved by somebody you absolutely loathe.
Oh, you mean like when you see KFC at the White House? Yeah, that really breaks my heart.
Yeah. It's like, damn it. I can't like that anymore.
I once had to sign a contract for a job I had promising to not eat KFC in front of any celebrities because I did it with too much gusto and people found it upsetting.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness! Did you like the bowls? Were you a KFC bowl guy? No.
I'll do ribs, I'll do wings, and I'll do the fries. That's really it.
Okay.
My grandparents were big on KFC. My grandpa always called it the Kentucky Fried Colonel for some reason. I always felt there's a cannibalistic kind of twinge to it.
It is finger licking good. I remember the last time, because you can get like the regular or the extra crispy, and we went there and we got like the box, like it comes with like biscuits and wings and a few tendies and fries, and they were like, do you want like the original recipe or extra crispy? And we were like, we want the extra crispy. And this lady at the counter was like, are you sure? And I was like, I was. Is there something wrong with the chicken? I was like, what is that? What happened to the extra crispy chicken?
I'm now questioning every decision in my life.
I know.
Now, thank you.
It's like the extra crispy. It's a lot more skin, but it's like far less flavor is held in that skin.
Oh, so it is the inferior chicken.
Listen, I was at Trader Joe's yesterday and I was buying 15 cans of tuna and a bottle of wine, and I got like very openly shamed by the man at the checkout. So I'm sorry that happened to you.
About why?
What did he do? What did he say to you?
He just looked at me. He just goes, "That's insane." And I was like, "I'm having a party. Like I don't have to answer your questions. Like I like fish and wine. I'm not eating them on the way home."
Having
You
a
know,
tuna
Although,
party.
did you pick a red wine to go with the fish? Because you should never do red wine. Is that what he was being snobby about?
that was probably the issue.
It probably was. He was wine
Yeah.
shaming you, not tuna
No,
shaming you.
it was the very white wine that I'm drinking right now, and the very
Oh,
tuna
okay,
that I
there you
ate
go.
right before this call.
Well, then there you go.
I can't do. I can only do like fancy tuna, like seared tuna steak, or like tuna at a sushi place, or like the Toro, like tuna belly. Oh, that stuff is so good.
Yeah,
But
see,
like canned tuna, I will.
What you got to do?
I
You got to
can't.
get
It freaks me out.
you got to get the chunk light tuna in water, and then you got to put it with rice and peri peri sauce. It's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
What
only
if
thing.
I just got a tuna steak?
Sure,
seared it and
you could.
sliced
Yeah.
it and put that on a bed of
Okay.
rice.
Okay, but if you're like a normal person like me and you're getting to the office at 4 a.m. and not leaving till 11 o'clock at night, sometimes you're very reliant on microwavable options.
I
And I
was
think-
about to ask if you had a rice maker. Like,
No, I just
in
buy
your
the little
office.
like minute rice microwave things. Imagine
Is that kind of what you're talking about? Is
Can
a
you-
poke? Is it like a pokeball? Not a pokeball. We're not.
yeah,
trying
it's
to
like a
catch 'em all.
Pokeball.
Trying to eat
No,
some snacks.
it's like the little like cup of rice thing that you just microwave for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think if I saw a microwavable tuna steak, I would run. I would run into the woods and never return because that's
Well, I wouldn't want to microwave that. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the break room would ever be your friend again.
I was gonna say you should never ever
Especially-
microwave fish. Oh,
If it's
Can
like
you imagine
per-
a world where I was able to share an office? Can you like just think about the conversation so far and think about me sitting here pants free with my dog hat on. Like this
Just
is not a
scarfing
Hands-free.
cans of tuna, just like just like drawing, eating rice and tuna
Yeah.
just simultaneously.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. You're living the dream, man.
I really
Yeah.
am. I really am. I'm always within walking distance of hot dogs. My life is great.
Yeah, I mean that's you're doing one thing right. There's another thing y'all are doing right. I swear to God, we're going to talk about it. Horror comics. Who would have thought? 31 minutes in the show. Jesus Christ. Here we go.
wait, who does horror comics?
Let's just go. Let's start with. I'm going to refer to you two as one entity. You are now J squared. So J squared, you two are working on a project together now. I'm glad you said that in the intro, J Michael, because when you said you were working with Jay, and then I thought I was like, is there like another I didn't know if it was like a double shot, like a double one shot you were releasing of Morsels, but it's the next one. So and let's talk about this project. Hit us with this pitch us, give us a little bite-sized pitch of Morsels. Let us know. That was bad. Make sure your pitch is better than that.
All right, so yes, Morsels Presents. It's kind of a a reinvention of my very first comic. And the way I'm looking at it is that each one's going to be an individually wrapped horror story. So frightening, you'll be screaming for more. But what I am trying to do with this is, so often you find there are a lot of projects that they're expensive. You got to run the campaign, you got to get art finished, you got to get printing, mailing, all that stuff. And I feel like sometimes it can take a couple months. Sometimes I've had some people that I've backed, which whatever, for a year. But my point is what I'm hoping to do with Morsels is have each individual issue done before it launches on Kickstarter. And I'm already ahead of the game because, as you can see right here, I've actually have a few printed copies of the first one right there. And they came out really great. I'm really excited. It's a 15-page story. We did it digest sized, so it's 5.5 by 8.5. So it's pocket or horror you can take anywhere. And and so since that one's all done, Jay and I have actually kind of started putting our heads together to start creating the second issue.
Exciting. Jay, no pressure, man, but this first one's a fucking banger. I love Jay's art, so like I have no doubt like he's gonna get like gritty and weird with it too. But this really surprised. Like this was great. Where'd you meet your your team for this one? How'd you put this together? How'd you put everybody together?
The first one. So let's see. Carlos Angeli does the and guys, I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name if they're listening. But no, he was just I think it was right after I ran the Family Matters campaign, I think finished. He reached out to me. He said he'd just kind of been on Kickstarter, you know, looking at different campaigns, seeing what people were kind of working on. And he's like, hey, you know, I'm trying to, you know, put myself out there, you know, with different people and kind of reach out. So we just kind of chatted a little bit. You know, I kind of had this story and, you know, kind of the idea to relaunch Morsels in a new way. So, you know, we hit it off and he did the artwork. And after that, Lorenzo Scaramella, I actually know him from Gerald von Stoddard. Gerald works with him quite frequently, so he suggested him for colors. And Lorenzo was amazing. He was fast. He does amazing colors too. Kind of very much catches a creep show kind of vibe. Tales from the Crypt.
Time out though. That's a save that for something.
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt.
That'd be a good behind the scenes follow up book.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that would be. All right. Nobody take that. I'm patenting it right now. Copyrighted. So, yeah. And, you know, I had a lot of fun with that. And then, honestly, I started talking with Jay. And, you know, was it last? No, it's been 2 years, hasn't it? Since we did Together Forever. Has it been that long? Seriously?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. But, and I keep thinking, no, it was like last summer. I feel like I wasn't working on
but no, it's been
long ago.
Yeah, but no, it's been almost 2 years. You know, we did Together Forever and kind of reinvented the very first story, 3-page horror story that me and Jay did together.
Yeah.
And so now for the next Morsels, we are kind of doing the same thing. We are reinventing one of our favorite 3-page horror stories that we did together. But
I think it's our third one.
I think it definitely, yeah, I think so, yeah. But it's a story I think that really deserves to have a little more room to breathe.
Yeah. Cool.
So, I think it was not that I have a favorite of the 3, but Tag Along was definitely top 2 for sure. Just in terms of how much fun that was to draw.
Are you going black and white inks, or are you getting someone to color it? Because I've seen Jay both ways, and they could both work. You know, like they can both bring a vibe.
Gotcha. You know, I'm the kind of I like to work with the people, kind of bring them back once I've worked with them. So, plus Jay's busy, so he is doing interior art. He did the cover art as well, and then Lorenzo is actually coming back to color.
Cool.
I think he's going to be coloring it. Justin Birch is going to be coming back to do the letters, and then Colleen Palmer is doing the trade dressing and everything like that, and the logo that she did on the first one. So.
You're gonna try and keep the same color and letter like through the ordeal if you can.
I mean, if they'll keep working with me, yeah, I think it kind of depends. Most likely, I would say Lorenzo probably will be on most of them. I know he, while it's not 100% official, I know me and Gerald have been discussing possibly him doing a Morsels book, and so they work together. So
cool.
So yeah, so Lorenzo has kind of, you know, said that if he's available, he'd like to color that one. So
nice. We got a question from Wes Easton is asking how many variant covers are you thinking? 3, 4. We got to put this to the because Richard sometimes does variants, but like what are you thinking? Like you doing a bunch of covers, or are you keeping it chill?
I would say for this first, probably for the individual issues, I'm kind of going just lean and mean, and we'll probably just have the main covers.
Okay.
Maybe I can add something where if we hit a certain, you know, goal that people really want it, you know, I'd be happy to kind of throw something in there. And then I have plans that if everything goes well, the plan is to do 4 issues with a possibly maybe a Christmas issue at the end of next year. And then, you know, kind of collect them all together. And I think what I'll probably do is once I have the first volume to do a trade, probably will have like a main cover and then maybe a hardcover like variant cover. So
Nice. Like a cool
Yeah.
collection. I like that. That's oh, he's doing Wes. You don't have to have 3 covers. Hey, if you the variant market on Kickstarter is still popping. Like it hasn't. Because like no one. Well, no, that's false. Some of those campaigns can do like, because I've worked some of them that have like 85 cover options between like trade dress, virgin, metal,
my God,
foil,
yeah.
you know, like, and it's
Yeah.
you got to put all those SKUs in, and Kickstarter sucks. Oh God. But anyway, you know, like so that you can get to like, I love Dynamite. I'm not trying to talk smack, but you can get to like a Dynamite kind of release, right? With like that many Kickstarter variants is very rare, but 3 to 4 is still a pretty popular among a lot of campaigns. You in the first Morsels, you had 2 or 3. I remember, didn't you have an Alex Cormack cover? I remember you had I thought you did. Or
Well,
something.
Alex Cormack, I don't know if you can see it out back here, but Alex Cormack did the original cover.
Okay.
And then I did have one variant cover with that. I did let's see, Together Forever was the next one that I did. That one we just did one by Trevor Henderson. Let's see, next book. Now my Addison Grove series that I've been doing, each one has basically been a main cover, and I have one variant, and the variants are basically a different shot of the town of Addison Grove, and those are done by Alex Cormack.
Nice. Richard, what are your thoughts on? Because I mean, I've seen you go all out and like do like paper mache variants and crazy shit for books, but these new horror one shots, you're kind of running like a leaner, meaner campaign on these, but they've also come out very like in quick succession. But what are your thoughts on variants on Kickstarter these days?
I've learned over the past 3 years, basically because I'm the writer and the artist, anytime I have variant covers by other people, no matter how much better at art those other people might be, people are just not interested. They want the thing by the guy who made everything else. And so like I had I think on the X-Wives of Frankenstein books, the paper mache covers, by the way, they were all the A cover. They were all my ones. But I had 3 or 4 on each campaign. And like we had a Jill Thompson watercolor variant on the 4th issue, and it was outsold by my cover like 10-1. And it's that's stupid. People should want Jill Thompson's painting more than they want my nonsense sculptures. With these little horror books, because they're 100 pages each, like I feel like it's weird to have variant covers on trades. And you know, anything with a spine, I think it's a bit odd to have variant cover. And also the rule with these is I can't spend more than 24 hours on the book. So there isn't really time to make extra covers for them.
Wait, what part is 24 hours? Like everything? Like writing, drawing? What?
Yeah.
What? How?
What do you mean?
You're doing 100 pages? You're doing a 100-page comic graphic novel in 24 hours.
Well, the book is 100 pages, so it's 50 pages of illustration, 50 pages of text.
Okay. That's still insane, but okay. That's a lot.
It's only half as crazy. No, about 75% now.
Well, like what I do is
so all of these, all these books we're about to scroll through, you've done, and these have been 24-hour horror books.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh my God. That's
how else do you think I've put out 8 of them in a year?
I don't know.
Alongside all the other books.
And, like, do you know how to fold time in half? Is that...
God, I wish. I'd undo buying that hat. What I do is, you know, these books are all sort of they're like I take a small idea, and like in the way that most horror stories are, like, here's your premise and here's the one direction it's going to go to get to an ending, right? And so what I instead do is I take the small idea and then spend the 100 pages just kind of saying, like, what are all the other angles that this one thing is scary from? Like, what are all the ways that this idea could be scary? So, by the goal with each of them is that at the end of it, the book itself becomes like the cursed object for you. Like Jay was saying before, like the horror you can take with you. All of these books are A6 size, so they literally are pocket-sized books. So you actually can have a scary thing in your pocket at all times, just to kind of keep you a little bit creeped out. And so what I do is, as soon as, like, I never really plan these books. The one that's up there now happened last Wednesday. I just, an idea popped into my head. And
that is ridiculous. I had this thought. I wrote this cool book and drew it in a day, and then launched it on Kickstarter. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal, dude.
That's how you like.
That's not how you. That's how you do it. But that's not how. That's a big general you that you're throwing around there. Like,
right. But it's also like, this is a very poorly paid profession, and if you can figure out like what the thing is that you can make fast that'll make money, then you fucking do it. Especially like for me, my rule is like whatever work I'm doing has to be something I can become totally obsessed with, right? As soon as I don't have that level of obsession, it takes me 10 times as long. It's why when you look at my pages, it'll be like, here's a 13-panel page with complicated angles everywhere, because that'll just hold me on the page. I'll be so fascinated by drawing that. Whereas if you said, here's a 4-panel page that is just like 3 mid shots and a close-up of some people, I'd be like, that's going to take me all fucking day to draw, because I'm going to be so bored. I'm going to get so distracted. And like, you know, like X hamster exists and so do poppers. Like, you know, I got to keep myself on track. And so with these ones, like, it's just, as soon as I have the idea, I just write it, and then I just take 3 Ritalin and just work nonstop for 24 hours, or until the book is finished, whichever comes first. There's actually there's 6 other books in this series where I didn't get to the 100-page mark within the 24 hours, so they were just abandoned. But yeah, it's, you know, like, it's just kind of what you have to do.
So you like set your own impossible deadline, and if you can't meet it, you scrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever go back to those ones that you didn't hit the 100 pages and meet it? Do you think there's are there nuggets you'd like to explore, or do you think you didn't hit that for a reason?
Well, no, because like I always write it first, so like the whole story would be there. It's just that I didn't draw it fast enough. So it's sort of like if you can't, like, there's no backup plan if you don't finish the book, right?
I gotcha. By the way, if I don't know who makes Ritalin, if that's the brand name, but if whoever is responsible for Ritalin, Richard and I would love to talk about sponsorship opportunities. We could even include you here, Wes, because I think we're on to some kind of jingle here. Crush and mash them, snort them in a tube.
Oh my god!
Make your comic.
Methylphenidate is the drug.
You're like the Sun Tzu of ADHD.
Oh, I don't have ADHD.
That's amazing to me.
Is that why the Ritalin actually
hyperfocus
works?
makes me
Like, that was a joke. That was a joke. I'm very much prescribed my Ritalin.
I'm like, how is this possible?
No, it's so I have a couple of advantages in this field. One, I have a chemical imbalance in my brain, so I don't like I don't go into normal cycles, basically. Instead of having serotonin, dopamine, and melatonin released cyclically, all of them are being released all of the time. It means that I can't really go into deep sleep properly, but it also means that I have no grogginess when I wake up, and I can go a pretty extraordinary amount of time without sleeping, without feeling any ill effects of it. I still sleep, like I sleep like a normal amount. Like I sleep like 3 to 4.5 hours every night, but like I don't, like, if I miss a night, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the silence here.
I feel like I get 9 hours, and I feel like I'm hit by a truck.
I'm always tired. It's all, I don't, though we had this talk at work the other day because my Adam, my boss, was like, he was like, normal people don't work like we do. And it's true. And I do think it's because all of us have, I'm pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD. And other people like know they have it, but I've worried about it. Cause like, well, if I ever did like have healthcare and could use it, but like if I did treat it, right. And if I did get medicine and they like bounce me out, like, would I still be able to work like I do? Like, cause it's, and if I was normal, like, would I get these comic jobs? Would I be able to have a high paced kind of 2 high paced day jobs and build Kickstarter campaigns on the side? Right. Like, it's just like, I've always been able to like focus on things when it gets crazy, but it's when it's like not crazy. That's like, I'm watching butterflies. Right. Anyway, but like so I've, that's something I've thought, and I, in a way I'm a creative person. And I want to be I want to be more of a creative person, but I would think does that fear exist like in you guys too? Like if if my brain was ever like, right, could I still do what I do? Could I still draw like I draw?
We want to tell ourselves that we'd all be okay and that we'd be like, we'd unlock something better or whatever. And then you look at the litany of creators who have gotten happy or gotten healthy and have just created absolute dog shit from then on out,
Yeah. No, I self-medicate with coffee. I tried not Ritalin, Adderall when I was first getting diagnosed. And it just made my hair feel like it was going to fall out. I wasn't that into it. Things got a little better. I mean, as far as like being able to focus at my day job kind of thing, but I let that go. And then I tried Strattera, and that just made me feel like a zombie all the time. I'd forget half the letters of the alphabet and which words they belonged in. And it's coffee, Red Bull, anything with caffeine, and it's pretty amazing.
I do. I quit drinking coffee. I used to like really nerd out and have like a fancy, I still have it. It's in the garage, like a crazy fancy Italian espresso machine I got on Craigslist many years ago.
Nice.
But I kind of, it takes like 20 minutes to pour 2 shots. It's ridiculous. It tastes good. It's not like 20 minutes, but you gotta like weigh the beans, grind them. And then if you fuck up the grind, you got to do it all again. Anyway. But like, so I started drinking G Fuel because I love pink lemonade and it was sugar free. And so I would drink their pink lemonade G Fuel all the time. And I was like spending a lot of money on it. And then I read like, I don't have cancer, but I read somewhere that like, if you have like cancer cells or something in your body, like the energy drinks, like get those going too. And I was like, that sounds bad. And then and like, and I don't know like the factual evidence behind it, but then I just knew like, and then I read like some stuff about like a lot of caffeine and people with diabetes and shit. Anyway, I quit drinking G Fuel, but I take green tea extract. I take like 2 green tea extract pills in the morning, and then usually like 2 in the evening. And then if I'm still working, 2 in the evening, and then every now and then if it's like a late night, I'll take like 2 because it won't give you jitters. But it's like I don't know. I haven't had coffee in a long time. I don't buy G Fuel anymore, which was 40, 50, 60 bucks a month sometimes if I was going through it. And then and this a bottle of these is like 18 bucks and it's good. It's like for like a month.
I want to try those. They sound fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's just like it's basically caffeine pills. Basically what I'm doing is I'm Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell, and I'm about to
being so scared. What about horror?
But okay, so you mentioned something that was intriguing, Richard, because you said like learning what you can do fast and monetizing it, marketing it. When you guys found out that these things that not necessarily that you could do them fast, but these things that you specialize in and do well, because all of you have like a robust inventory of skills, but you are good at horror. Jay's good at like horror, and Jay has like that special like horror noir blood coursing through him, right? But you're all good at creeping people out. How did you find out what you were good at and how to monetize it? Like J. Michael, you took this morsel thing, right? And you had this campaign, and now you've decided you're like, I got something here. I got something to expand upon. Jay Chic, you have this like you have this style and like this attachment to the page that can like do a lot of different things, but you can make it like monstrous and scary and confusing, right? And people have paid you lots of money for that in their comic books in one way or another. And Richard can take a couple pills and just release an omnibus in a month of horror shorts. So like, did you have a dream? Did you have a vibe? Did you get a feeling? Like, J. Michael, how'd you know Morsels was something to run with?
Oh shit, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think what had started back the original Morsels. God, Jay, what has it been? Probably 5 or 6 years now since we did the first Together Forever.
Yeah, I think 2019, 2020. Or are you talking like the first hyper epics or the first?
Yeah, the very first, like, so basically, like, I had always been a writer, dabbling in different things, wanted to get into comics, but I always had hey, I got this idea for a 30-issue series. Well, who the fuck's gonna do that? I don't have the money to do that. Who's gonna back that? It's ridiculous. And so I think I got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a 3-page comic. Put it on Twitter. Hey, anybody want to do something? Guess what? Jay was one of the first people to pop up. Like, hey, shit, whatever, I'll draw it. So we started chatting. We hit it off, and we did Together Forever. The first 3-page story. And I think what I love about it is, I was very much in my head like, all right, I love this. This was fun. All right, what's next? And I think Jay was like, hey, I know this guy at the site. He does 3-page horror stories. Can I show it to him? And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, you knock yourself out. I don't know why he would want it. You know what I mean? Because who am I? Whatever. It's just, and I don't say that as anything on Jay or the quality of the art. It's just, you got that imposter syndrome. You're like, oh, yeah, sure, I made something, but who the hell's going to want to, publish it? And so I think the next day he did it, and he's like, oh, hey, by the way, they love it. I was like, holy shit, you're awesome. So, that got put on Hyper Epics, which is a really cool site. Their whole shtick is, everything's 3-page stories. We kind of hit it off with them, and they had us do a couple more stories. So we did a few stories on there. And then after a couple, I'm sitting here with multiple stories. I'm like, all right, what the hell do I do with this stuff? What do I do with all these stories? And so that's when I kind of got the idea to put a book together to kind of have a, something to show editors. It was just kind of whatever. So that's when I did the first Kickstarter campaign. Like I said, I met Alex Cormack, kind of talked with him online. He did the main cover, so on and so forth. And really, it's just kind of snowballed from there. And I think what I'm excited to kind of do with Morsels Presents is, I think they're shorter stories. It's given me a chance to work with multiple artists because I like to work with different people. It's kind of fun to see, my words kind of come to life in different styles. And it's also a little bit cheaper to produce. But really what the hope is like, I want these to, like I said, the plan is I'm going to launch March 2nd with the first one. I think right now it's a little scary, but I think I'm going to do like a 14-day campaign.
Whoa.
I know. And just kind of, run it and see how it goes. But as soon as if I hit that goal, the printing goal, I'll probably like mid-campaign have it printed, and I want to, kind of get them mailed out as soon as everything kind of ends.
Are you going to stick with that? You're going to stick with short campaigns if it works well? Like just keep them quick and easy?
I think so, yeah. For the
2 weeks, 14 days. That's
crazy.
Hardcore.
I think.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Jay, I'm thinking of like when we were hustling for like One True Love, and it was like like we all kept telling each other it was, and we knew it was gonna fun, but it was like there was a long dead period, and then like the last week of the campaign still had some room to go, and then it was just like, dude, we were making shorts, we were doing interviews, we were posting content, we were doing everything. And it was like, so I mean, we used like every day of those 30 days, right? It was just
I'm still finding pencil drawings that I did that were going to be like giveaways or something. And I was like taking pictures and posting as promo art. Like, yeah, that was, and that one had kind of a dark cloud over it because we had tried launching it before as like a full color book about a year before, something like that. But the funding goal was like astronomically more. Like it was, I think we were 18,000 is what we'd set for it.
Oh wow.
And we were down to like the last week and we weren't even halfway and Mario pulled the plug on it, and I don't blame him. It was, it was just kind of like, rather than see it just, fade into failure, you just kind of just swept the board and kind of reconvened after some time and replanned it as the black and white book. And we got it. It's finished. Like that's there's been a couple of printing issues with it, I guess, with the size of the lettering relative to the size of the comic, because it's like a normal size comic, but
It's turned sideways. Yeah.
90 degrees.
Like
Yeah.
widescreen.
It's an interesting way to work as far as like panel flow. Some of the tricks that I'd be used to on a vertically oriented page didn't work out so well, so having to kind of come up with new ones for that format was fun. But I finished it, gosh, it's been, I think, at least 6 months ago now. And yeah, it's the PDF is floating around out there. I know that for sure.
Nice. Now I was talking, I was talking to J. Michael about like when he kind of knew that he had something, and it sounds like y'all had done some, y'all had some success together doing these shorts, these horror shorts, right? What you as an artist who's constantly like, I don't envy either of you, right? Because you have to like constantly like develop your voice and like try new things, but also like stay oriented in a way, right? Like you have to like stay and progress simultaneously in a weird way, so that people know it's a Richard piece, or people know it's a Jay Chic piece, but you have to try new stuff every now and then too, and so people aren't bored, and so you're not bored as well. But anyway, blah 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 blah. When did you know, right? When did you know you had like your voice had an echo in it, right? That like that a darkness that you could take into the seedy corners of noir, or into like the dark void of horror, and take people on these adventures like that.
I can't pinpoint it to any single moment. I know there was like, most of it happened while I was in grad school. I just kind of applied on a whim. I'd gone to my retail job wearing like one of my button-up shirts and a suit coat, and a friend said I look like a professor, and I just jokingly said, well, dress for the job you want, right? And then it stuck with me that day that like, that's actually, I kind of want to do that. So that night I got home, like literally that night I applied, and then did the whole interview process, got in, and I knew the professors. I went back to the same school where I'd gotten my undergrad degree, so it wasn't that crazy, but it was also became kind of an excuse. It was a place that I could go and work on stuff, and it would be like, well, once I graduate, then I can really start looking into doing this professionally. And one of my professors, who's also a comic book artist, I haven't seen any work from her in a while, but if you're familiar with Kit Seaton, she did a book called Norway with Image. It was a straight to trade graphic novel kind of thing. She's worked with Layla DeLuca on Afar, a few other books. But she took me aside one day and, kind of asked me what my plan was. And I told her a version of that. And she told me, like, there's really no reason you can't be seeking out professional opportunities while you're still in school. And then that same week I ran into Marco Finnegan at my retail job, and he was looking at iPads as an option for drawing comics. And we got to talking about stuff, and he told me that he got the majority of his paid work on Twitter. So I started a Twitter account, put it out there that I was available to draw pages, and within 2 weeks I got 2 paid jobs, and it's just been kind of downhill from there.
That's crazy. Like I never deleted Twitter, even from Elon Musk's Twitter, right? From like, cause that's how I got into comics. That's how I got into this industry. That's how I snuck my way in and tricked people into hiring me. Like it's but that, I mean, all my connections through for the podcast, and then through the small Kickstarter jobs, and then to, you know, when I ran a studio for a while, and then now it's all people I met on Twitter, basically, because Twitter was always like the hub for a while, and the other sites were like auxiliary pieces that you copy and pasted to or whatever, and Facebook was for your old family. Now I'm the old family on Facebook. God damn. But so grads, that's cool, man. So grad school led me to cocaine and dropping out. I'm glad we had different experiences there. I learned a lot about writing, and I copyright, but I do a lot of writing for paid work these days, right? So I can't say I'm using those degrees I fell out of. Richard, what about you, man? Like, you've written horror stuff for like other publishers, and like horror's been a genre that you've played with for a while, but you're also very funny, and you're very intimate, and you like writing about sex. How did you figure out that you had a special knack for, like, I mean, you had to know going into this weird writing experiment that like you could get out quick scares one way or another, right? Like, how'd you figure out you had that kind of tool in your wheelhouse?
I think it's largely that, like, I've always wanted to be a ghost. Like, it's really like a big goal of mine my whole life. And I always loved scaring people as a kid, and I loved being scared. I think it's one of the best feelings in the world, because it's like, it's exciting. You get filled with adrenaline, and like anything's possible. Like the thing that scares you is knowing that the world isn't how you thought it was, you know? Like something is different than you believe to be true, and that is terrifying. But like that just means that anything is possible for that split second. And I started, my first comic was about a ghost. And I was always like, everything I've published has always had some kind of element of horror to it. And even in my, and comedy is so similar to horror, because like the build up to a punchline is so similar to the build up to a scare, because it's always about some form of misdirection. And like the intimate stuff, sex stuff, it's always, it's the same structure over and over again. It just depends how you frame it, where you are trying to get some kind of release, pardon the pun, out of the situation. So it's always just kind of been like, it's always made sense to me that if you can, like I always say, like, if you can draw, you can color, because like the act of coloring is very much a sort of robotic recreation of drawing. If you can write horror, because every other genre actually lends itself toward horror all the time. And if you get really good at horror, in the same way that like you get really good at English grammar if you learn French, you just get better at everything else if you're working on horror stories, because it's such a clear encapsulation of like, this is the goal and this is how I'm going to get there, and I have to get there in a different way every time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Jay, how do you feel that too? Like horror keeps you constantly kind of on the move and on the guess yourself, and you have to kind of, when you have to figure that out on the page, it's always different. Is it similar? Other Jay, you don't draw. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Well, I thought you were talking about writing. Sorry.
It was my fault. I've clearly
I'm gonna read.
Sorry.
I'm just.
It gets me thinking about the second story that my Jay counterpart here and I did, called Mary Hall, which is like a different take on the old the old Bloody Mary thing in the bathroom mirror, very much like that. And I still think that's one of the creepiest things I've ever drawn. Just the build up to it with a candle in the mirror, and the woman who's supposed to be in the mirror appearing behind the person who's invoking her through the mirror, and like trying to find a way to make something scary in 2D space like that on a page standing still is it's a challenge at the best of times, and like on some stuff like zombies, it's a little bit more, it wears the horror more on its sleeve, where you've got rotting corpses chasing ostensibly living ones, and there's like it's a little bit more obvious. But when it starts getting more subtle, that's the kind of stuff that I think both challenges me and really keeps me driving into it. Like, how can I make this more atmospheric or evocative. And
Oh yeah. All right, J. Michael. Now to
Oh, I'm allowed
transition.
to talk.
Yeah. Yes.
Let the writer have a turn.
but only to state your coffee order, then shut up.
Okay.
Now you
You want to?
your new short that is about to go live on Kickstarter, the first new Morsels, like it totally there is a great misdirection there, and it keeps the reader guessing, right? And it's there's not a lot of time, right? It's 15 pages. It's you have to get right into it, which you do. But is horror like that for you? Because your horror reads like that. You're very good at like I can't ever really tell where you're gonna go, and I love where we land. I like. When we get, I'm like, shit, I wouldn't have thought about that, and I love horror that makes me think like I wouldn't think normally, like, oh, I wouldn't do that, but that makes sense for them, and anyway, there's like, you get put into like an otherness in a way. It's interesting. It's like a weird out of body experience. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, is it like that when you're writing it? Are you, are you kind of constantly like on the move and on the guess and in a sense, like, plotting out, like is it trickier to plot? Is horror harder to plot? Is it why don't you just answer what I've said?
It just kind of depends. I'm very much I'm very much a plotter than a pantser, only because I feel like my mind tries to take me down too many paths if I don't have a clear view of where I want to go. Now it doesn't mean that I don't, hey, let me stop and smell the roses over here. Or, hey, this is a little bit shorter path. I don't have to strictly stick with it, but I like to have that vision of where I'm going. And honestly, I just write whatever kind of what I would want to read. I've always been a big fan of Creepshow, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Hood. I love a good horror anthology. I love the stuff when they have a twist that just kind of like, holy shit, where did that come from? So sometimes I feel like I have that twist in my head. Sometimes I like to do straightforward. And what I was going to say earlier before I rudely misspoke. But,
all we ask is that you raise your hand.
Okay, sorry. But it's funny what, Richard was saying, how he, you could do comedy, you could do other things, and I'll try and do funny stuff in them, but like I feel like I've always had ideas and tried to do something that's in a different genre, and somehow my mind always just brings me back to horror. So I just feel like that's kind of my wheelhouse. That's where I have the most fun writing. And where I really got to start was doing 3-page horror stories. So they are extremely challenging to tell a whole story in 3 pages, or 4 pages or whatever. 5 pages, a short amount of time. And it's funny. I think Together Forever is one, and maybe that's just got a special place in my heart. That was the first comic, I had produced, the first one me and Jay did together. But that one I think is a lot of fun. It's a bit, it's a real big gut punch. And it's funny, I think Jay and I kind of have conflicting thoughts on the second one that we did, which is Mary Hall. And while I loved his art on it, and I do love the concept, I feel like that one was kind of a failure on our part because I tried to fit too much mythology in 3 pages. And it was, that was one that, took forever for me to write, just because I'm like, all right, this has got to be in here. No, that doesn't have to be in here, but it needs to be in here. But I think that's the most fun, to kind of, to fall, to mess up, see what we do, do things wrong to help learn doing better.
Now, a note on doing things wrong to do things better, but sometimes you also have to try and do things new, and risk failing, right? And sometimes those risks pays off. I'm hard segueing into your Kickstarter strategy right now, and it's very interesting to me because still to this day you can tell people like pre-launch is important, and it's and you got to take advantage of that time. especially if you're cutting the duration of your campaigns to 2-3 weeks, right? You got to use those time in between the campaigns, and your pre-launch strategy, and use those signups, mailing lists, whatever you're doing. You're running your pre-launch for an extended period of time, and you have follower rewards, which I think is pretty interesting. Like tell me about this thought process as while you're simultaneously like, I'm going to run more faster campaigns, but also like, I'm going to kick it all off with an extended pre-launch with like follower count. I mean, it's an interesting strategy.
I would like to say that I came up with this idea all on my own, but I'm not going to lie. I feel like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I feel like kind of perusing, backing different campaigns, seeing how other campaigns run. It was an idea that I kind of saw, but I thought it was a good idea because, like you said, those first few days are kind of the most important. I mean, more often than not, you see a lot of campaigns hit their goal in the first day. Not always, I mean, but obviously, but depending on what your how low your goal is or what you're at. But that's I'm trying. I think of it a way as almost kind of combat the lull. And I think you kind of, like you were saying. I mean, obviously, if you get 30 days, you have longer. But if you think about a good 2 weeks of that in the middle is almost dead. I mean, you get a little trickle in and here, trickle there, but it's really the very beginning. You have a huge rush, you drop, and then you hit towards the end. So my idea is, maybe to cut out that time, because now people aren't going to be like, oh shit, I can't wait for 3 weeks. I got to back it now. And I think it's just kind of a fun way to really push the pre-launch to throw in these goals and kind of some free early bird swag, because the goal of that too is that we've unlocked one. Everybody right now that backs at any of the physical levels in the first 2 days are going to get a free cover art print, 5x7 cover art print. And then I think we're about 33 signups away from a sticker pack.
So you're also encouraging people to back physically, because then out of the gate, like you're like, you get this book and the print and some stickers and maybe something, so like already you're like, I could go digital, or I could get cover A and get all this too. That's smart.
So I'm trying to, so the idea, I've seen some other people do it. Now, my thought process is not only to kind of boost them into doing this, it kind of gives them some possibly free swag, but it also really pushes to, like you said, to back at a physical level, and to back in the first few days to really get people in there. Because I think basically what it's going to be is that I have each of the physical tiers set up as an early bird, and those are going to be available for the first 48 hours, and then it'll switch to a normal. So then after the 48 hours, anybody that backs, won't get those, the swag. But it's really just trying to push to have just a real, strongest start as I can. And the other hope with doing this, and I mean, Kickstarter is a risk no matter what you do, whether you have something, a small portion done and you're trying to get your, the money to create, or like I said, this time kind of working with some people and having it done ahead of time. But hopefully I want to kind of start a strong wave and kind of push throughout the year. If people really like this first Morsels Presents, which a lot of the people that have read it seem to really respond strongly to it. But then hopefully, hey, it's like 2 weeks later, hey, or, a month and a half later, hey, the next one's launching. Let's get in here. So that way everybody's gotten their books, they've read it. Hopefully they're excited. They jump onto the next one, and so on and so forth.
Nice.
Instead of losing that momentum of, hey, I ran a Kickstarter in March, and all right, I might try one in October. Well, a lot of people have probably forgotten about the book, or, it's been a while they've read it, or so on and so forth. And so then it's really hard to build up that momentum again.
No, there's definitely a play in being aggressive. And Jay, going back to what Jay Sheik's been doing, because I mentioned early on when I brought you out, because it was funny that you didn't like, you weren't one of those people that like avoided social media, but you would have liked to, right? You wouldn't have been mad about it if you did. And now, like, as you're more selective with projects and stuff, and with teaching and with the family. So I'm sure scheduling comic projects is gnarly, right? And so you got to consider all that, but you've kind of, in a way, found a way to promote yourself and your art in between campaigns and projects, or while you work on stuff behind the scene, because you're working on shit that you're not allowed to show people yet all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so you are now on you put out shorts and stuff. You're drawing robots, you're drawing Transformers, and doing cool stuff online.
Yeah.
I've seen this more and more, like comedians started doing it. Every good stand-up comedian has a podcast. Like every single one, like if they're pretty good at their job, they have a podcast. And a lot of indie guys are starting to do, indie comic guys are starting to do it. They're doing like live Kickstarter live streams, or a lot of the artists do like the stream and draws and stuff like that, which you've kind of embraced too. How's that working? When you have work that you can't talk about, even when you'd like to, but you found a way to remind people of what you do, who you are, and why you're good at what you do.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. Like I've never, I would say, like, I've hated social media. It's just something I recognized early on. It's a major time suck. It's like, it's very, very easy to get caught up in trying to promote something, and I never feel like I'm that good at, like, I have this tendency to want to be really honest about what it is. Like, hey, here's this kind of exciting thing I'm doing, like, and especially if it's something of my own, like the confidence factor in it, particularly like with Hush Ronin, which is my own book, and that's becoming even more mine now. Band of Bards contacted me about releasing the publication rights back to me, so that'll be fully in my hands again in the near future. So I've been doing some more videos kind of talking about that project and what it is and where it's kind of heading next, as I feel like if I have I was like the closest thing I can relate it to would be like the so-called Mignola verse of like Hellboy and BPRD and stuff like that, because it ties into other ideas like Astronaut Ninja and Jed the Flying Head and a bunch of crap that I've been making up over the last 20 plus years. And I just started just throwing shit out to see what sticks. I've done at least 300 videos since June. I mean, most of them are in the like 30-second range. I don't usually try not to go longer than 3 minutes. I have another YouTube channel for my longer form stuff, but I haven't posted a video there since probably July. I just kind of got sucked into doing these shorts. I've been doing a Transformers drawing a day. I just draw it out in Procreate on my iPad. It generates a time-lapse video automatically. I just export the 30-second version of it and record a voiceover, toss my Wikipedia shorts byline over the top, and then maybe throw on some music and let it rip.
That's fucking killer, dude. I love to see it. I just think it's cool. I think you have a lot to say. Especially if you can, when you can like nerd out on art and stuff. I mean, I have a feeling like that's why you're a good professor, and like why you get, those jobs too, is because you can teach people things. And it seems like you've kind of found a way, you don't want to give away all the sauce, save that for like a Patreon later or something. Right. But you're showing off your own skills, and people can maybe learn something, from that too. Right.
I've done some tutorial videos in there too. I did, it's been my most popular video, I did a very quick one on just how to draw Transformers. And it's gotten, I think, over 1,000 likes now. That is by far my most liked and reshared, favorited video on TikTok.
That's cool, dude. I love it. And again, I think it's great because it's I've had that even when I was interviewing like big indie names or big two guys, and so and they would be on the podcast, and at the end of the show, and I'll do it this time too. Basically, I'll say like, is there anything we forgot to mention, or like, anything we forgot to promote, or do you have anything coming out? And they're always like, well, I can't talk about it till like, 2 weeks. We would have had this interview 2 weeks ago. We could have premiered, and it's like, anyway, but so it's, I think it's good to have something that, when you can't talk about that stuff and you can't show this page you're working on necessarily, you got other stuff you can do. And, it sounds like, if I could draw, I think it'd be fun drawing Transformers. It just sounds like a fun kind of thing. It's funny is I bought this brand new iPad Pro, this fucking pen, and I was like, I'm gonna learn design stuff, and I bought Procreate, and I was like, I'm gonna learn stuff, and like I don't want to be an artist, I don't want to draw comics, but I keep getting like design adjacent jobs. And anyway, I have not tried to draw yet. I've tried. The only thing I'm trying to learn how to mask stuff in Affinity, and it makes me mad. But anyway, it's
that's my sad secret shame is I don't know really how to do masking layers.
I know, it's like
I do it the hard way.
It's like if you could like get good at it, you can make so much money doing stuff. But anyway,
my brain won't hold that information.
Yeah, I watch tutorials, and then you do a thing for a photo, and you're like, oh, I did it, and then you pull a fucking client page. You're like, I'm gonna try and make an ad thing for Facebook or whatever, and you try and pull a thing out of a comic panel, and it doesn't fucking work, man. It doesn't work anymore.
It worked great on the project that I had to do for class when we were making our own little checks for digital illustration. But the second I try the same thing at home in my copy of Photoshop, it doesn't work anymore.
Anyway, this will be maybe an episode like design woes and how to learn a new trade when you're fucking 40. But Richard, I got on this note of like, promotion and stuff, between campaigns. You don't have a lot of time between campaigns these days. So like, how do you, you're good about doing shows, and I have noticed you can sometimes share your Kickstarter posts on Facebook now, because you used to not be, because me and Don would always be like, we'd share this if we could. But other than slightly adjusting your privacy settings on Facebook, what have you, because you have a very loyal audience and they show up, but your output is so great. You got to remind people to like keep checking Kickstarter for you, right?
Kind of. I think that having the kickrichard.com as the domain for everything is like very helpful, because like it just means, that people know what they're going to, and it's always going to refresh with whatever my newest thing is. On the Facebook privacy thing, I had a several month period this year where a particularly obsessive person was targeting me and attacking me and reporting every post I made because of my content. And so I just had to have that set like that, which was a huge problem. But
I got you.
Seems to have ended now. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because you, in my opinion, you get away with a lot on social media, and it's you're posting drawings, so you're not but
let me tell you,
post a lot of dicks.
I've been thinking about this a lot. Here's the secret. I'm making, as I say at conventions a lot, like I'm giving people dick pics they can finally be proud of. The thing about my dick pics is like dicks, like photographs of dicks are usually weirdly aggressive, most of the time unwanted, except by me. And drawings of dicks are always really silly. And what I'm doing is I love dicks. I think dicks are fantastic. And every dick I draw is drawn with absolute love. And the other secret to it is that my dicks have no context. There's no other body parts in the shots. There's no, like, if someone commissions me, like they want like some piss or some cum or whatever, then that's there. But like my dicks genuinely don't have that. So you can't tell the size. You can't tell anything else about it. The dick itself can't be threatening. It just becomes like this dick is in and of itself a beautiful object. That's what makes it art rather than porn. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love porn, obviously. X-Hamster forever. But Sorry, I just like mentioning X Hamster because everyone forgets that someone was like, "That's a great idea for a name for a website." What the fuck is we live in a society still?
I just remember the Richard Gere rumors or real whatever.
I do. I have.
I remember hearing about
I remember
that
that
as a teenager, and like
You think that's where
that blew
X
my
Hamster
mind.
from?
And then that was before. Then the South Park episode happened. Fucking Lenny Winks.
The three of you probably don't know about the popular website squirt.org. But squirt.org it's a website where you can like it's essentially like it's a hookup website where you can see guys within your local area, and it's fully open to pornographic imagery, so they can't have an app. But you can also have listings for locations for sex, whether it be like a bar or a club or just public spots where the police don't go, that kind of thing. There's a great joke about it in community, so it is popular enough that it's hit the mainstream. But it's a .org, guys. How is Squirt a .org? That's insane to me.
I mean, probably better than .gov, right?
Oh shit.
Or .edu, I guess.
.edu.
It could be educational.
I did own mouthandbuttstuff.church for a long time. But it was just one of those like expensive domains, and I let it lapse, and I regret that forever.
I still don't understand how you can just have like whatever words and shit you want after a dot now. Everybody's just breaking all the goddamn rules.
No, it's not everything. Like you still can't get like .Christ, because obviously I would have mouthandbuttstuff.Christ for meaty sandwich.guru was a good one.
There's that SNL one from years ago. It looked like a legit commercial for like a stock brokerage or something, and their website was www.clownpenis.fart.
That's very good. My friend Aaron, his web address is eatf.art. And that's very, very,
That's
very
good. That's funny.
But no, I don't know. I mean, my audience hasn't really grown much. Like the dick stuff has brought in new people. But I'm really seeing like the same 100 to 150 people that I saw in my first campaign 3 years ago are just always there. If someone comes up to me at a convention and says, I've supported one of your Kickstarters, I can comfortably say, like, what's your name? I probably remember packing that book. And it's been consistently true. You know, like I have a note sitting on my desk that says, remember, it says like, send out, I'll melt with you to Lindsay. Now, Lindsay's name is not Lindsay on the backer report, but I've seen Lindsay on enough campaigns that I know who I've got to send that to. I have to do that tomorrow. I really need to do that. It's quite far behind. Lindsay filled out the survey late. It's not my fault.
That would be me too. I always do it. I get a special message DM long after everybody's already filled out the survey, and I usually just have to just DM the address to send it to and forget the survey.
I was gonna say you still haven't filled out your survey from Family Matters, so
yeah, you need that
you got your book
quality Carl Winslow
DM'd
content.
you, but
Yeah, I'm like I have that one.
That's funny. That's a thing I have to that's a thing I have to do tomorrow is put out get a list of backers who haven't filled out a survey.
But I think like to go back to the question, like I think that because I'm kind of always releasing something, people can miss a campaign and come and check back in. I get a lot. I don't really put everything up as add-ons. And so I'll get a lot of messages from people being like, can I get this specific cover for this thing? And they'll just add money to their pledge or whatever. And I have to keep a lot of post-it notes around for what that's going to be. But in general, I think that having short campaigns with small gaps between them and being able to just send out, like at the end of any campaign, I can send out an update to say, hey, we're done. Check back tomorrow. I will be going into pre-launch on the next thing, which will be launching next week. So it's not like there's really time for people to forget. And also, you never need to do more than a 17-day campaign. A 17-day campaign is kind of the perfect one. The shortest I've done is 3 days.
Yeah, what was your Halloween book was real short.
All the horror shorts books were 3 days, and the Dick book for Halloween was 3 days.
Wow.
Oh no, the Dick book was 4 days, so actually quite a long one.
Do-do-ch.
It's an eternity. It's an eternity.
But you know, the other part of it is like, I'm never putting up a book that I haven't finished. So it's not like there's a gap where people are waiting for things to be delivered. I think the longest it's ever taken me to fulfill a campaign was 3 months, and that was just because of a shipping delay.
Nice. Well, that's cool, man. That's so. I mean, you like you said, you're not giving anyone any time to like forget you're putting out content, right? Like that's the one bad thing about Kickstarters. Like, you know, sometimes you get into a book and you may get 1 issue a year or maybe 2, or, you know, and it's just, things happen. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, that's and most of the time, like, you know, that going in, and people are honest in their updates and stuff, but you know, I think it's getting more common for people to be like, to have it ready for the campaign, you know, and it's just like, hey, it's when the campaign's done, like we're taking the money to the printer. I think it's cool, but I think it puts pressure on other people now that didn't, you know, because that used to be an option, kind of. You could have some things done and not everything, and now there's
a huge outlay of cost to pay an artist to do your book before you've made any money from it. Like,
that's true. It's crazy, yeah.
Like, yeah. I do appreciate. I'm incredibly fucking lucky that I can draw my own books.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an artist who I can treat like shit. But it's I think a lot of people will like if I buy an issue 1 on Kickstarter, I'm not gonna fucking read it. Like, if other people say it's good, I'll buy issue 2, but I'm not gonna fucking read an issue 1. I'll keep supporting the Kickstarter campaigns, or like buy issue 1, then wait till they're all out and buy the rest as add-ons, and then I will read it. And like, I have good friends, very dear, close friends, the kind of friends who store their fucking boxes of comics at my house because it's easier to get them to conventions from here rather than fly with them. I'm not bitter at Trevor for that. But, and I'm not going to name names. It could be any Trevor. But, you know, like, I have not read his book because it's on issue 4. And I know that issue 6 will not be out until the end of next year, and that will be the end of the story. And then I will read his book. I will not read anything till it's done, because, like, I don't want to, you know, like, I watched every episode of James Bond Jr. in 2020, and I know every fucking thing that happened in that show still, because I cannot forget anything that has ever happened in my life. I don't need to fill up more space in my brain with a comic that may or may not be finished within the next decade.
That's true.
Fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
And you don't have to, because this is America. I don't know what that means.
Is there something wrong with something? Is there something off?
That'd be a good reason to not recommend Hush Ronin to you then.
No, but I'm so excited to do my own version of Hush Ronin, where it is just, I can't decide if I'm going to take Batman Hush and draw a character from Ronin into it, or the other way around. And I don't want you to get it twisted. I don't want you to think that I'm talking about the Frank Miller comic Ronin. I am talking about the popular action movie Ronin.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That would be De Niro?
Yeah, it'll be out by January.
He's writing it like right now. He's plotting it out.
Yeah.
I don't plot things. Come on.
Oh, and I figured the Kickstarter would be live by the end of this podcast. But
oh yeah, he's submitting it. He's
We're gonna
submitting it to Kickstarter for approval.
I have 5 things in that are in pre-launch right now. Or right now, I have
Kickstarter even let you have that many in pre-launch?
If you can have 3 active, and then I have 2 that I've had to like put to sleep because I know they're coming out later, but they already have like their follower count on there. Depending how many campaigns you've done, and I think I'm at like 30 at this point. But like, none of those books are going to. They're all books that I'm like, I'm putting in fucking time and serious work. One of them, I'm like collaborating with a therapist who's helping me figure out why I want to fuck the penguin. Like, it's gonna be, that's gonna be a time consuming process. Like, I speaking of horror, I did just attach a fleshlight to a Danny DeVito action figure for comic research. Blake, can I come on your show to talk about that one when it comes out?
Why not? Yeah, you got to now.
Yeah.
Was that Was that a Danny DeVito, the Penguin from the
Yeah.
Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were on my show. I believe we've talked about the Penguin on my show already.
Yeah, look, this book has been.
Or it might have been on my show, or it was just on Facebook or comments. I don't
I'm
remember.
200 portraits in, and the comic is currently at about 85 pages to go along with it, but it's going to be fucking huge. I think I have to release all as one volume so that I don't get shut down halfway through. But it is I'm only drawing Danny DeVito as the Penguin until I stop wanting to fuck him. A comic book review of Batman Returns. Review, I can get away with a lot more.
Holy
Like-
shit.
Like attaching a fleshlight to a Danny DeVito action figure and fucking it, and documenting that all in the comic in great detail. You're welcome in advance. But like all of these things they're going to like dribble out over time. But I already know what I've got my first series with Space Between launches in January. I've got a new Dick book out in January. I know what my book for February is already. That's actually finished. I don't know when I'll do another one of these little horror books because I've got to do like 2 months of travel for a friend's wedding and some other nonsense going on. And I promised that I would I did 19 books this year. I promised that I would do fewer next year because I need to spend more time with my friends and family. But I'm already committed to 19 conventions next year, and I promised I would cut down on that too. I did 33 this year, and it's been too much.
Good God.
I have my last convention of the year this weekend.
So you've done your last convention and your last Kickstarter campaign for the year. You can kind of somewhat relax for the final 2.5 weeks of 2025.
Well, this Kickstarter campaign ends on the 23rd. And I have to have 112 pages finished of this new thing, which is the most labor-intensive art I've ever done. Because I'm not doing. I drew the first issue of this series back in April, and then a colorist was hired who I did not care for the results. And I looked at it and I went, I hate coloring digitally. I should just do this myself and find some other way. And the book is about a muse type figure who is essentially breaking down and leaking inspiration. And I thought well, maybe this whole book should feel like layer upon layer of people just trying to do different forms of creativity. So what I'm doing now is all of the color is going to be created by doing big physical collages and sculptures that I then photograph. And then I cut those out digitally and put them in, and then fuck around with opacity and hue and saturation and shit like that to create shadow.
Cool.
But my entire garage is filled with 40 canvases covered in I bought 100 atlases, and I've been tearing out maps for this sequence where they're moving through the space. And I bought all these memoirs by different musicians. And I've been making these huge sheets of torn up pages and then photographing them backlit so that you can see both sides of the text through it, so that it doesn't become distracting because it's not really readable on the page, but that's going to be the skin of one character, but I have to do 112 pages of that before I leave for New Zealand on the 17th of February. And I have 4 conventions before then.
Wow.
So I don't know.
No relaxing ever. Okay, got it.
Don't cry work tattoo.
All right.
I remember that.
Good, normal, well thought through. Everything is going great. I have not slept since Monday. I want to be really clear about that.
I think J. Michael has a question.
Yes, J. Michael.
Oh, thank you, Richard. I'm glad you finally called him. So I have to ask, so this is kind of interesting, just kind of with the way you're going. You were talking about, you have a lot of the same, kind of fan base or backers that are doing your campaigns pretty consistently. So, and considering you do so many, do you feel like you're not scared to launch at any time during the year just because you kind of have those backers there? Because I feel like that's you always hear
terrified
so many times about Oh, I was gonna say, because
Yeah.
everybody always talks about don't launch this time. This is the only time, and but it sounds like you're pretty consistently hitting it. So I just didn't know what your thoughts on that were.
Good question.
I don't know. Like, I really thought this campaign was going to do poorly. It funded on the first day, and like it was my second biggest first day for any of the 800-page horror books that I've done, and I think it was my third biggest first day overall, maybe fourth.
Okay.
And I don't know. Maybe there's something to be said for the fact that the kind of people who like my kind of bullshit are not big on Christmas shopping, you know? Like, maybe I'm not getting a lot of like devoted to their families need to save up the money for the holidays to afford very specific types of content. People are not necessarily into my books about huffing poppers and getting railed by 70-year-old trapeze artists. By the way, Scott, shout out to I found, oh my god, I stumbled across the porn that the trapeze artist who fucked me makes, and I'm just like, what a weird. And I got to reach out to him and be like, hey, I put you in a book. I did not know you were actually a famous porn star. Anyway, so no, like it's difficult. Like, I never know what's going to hit and what's not. Like the Halloween Dick book was launched 3 days before Halloween, and that was because I was like, well, I got to put a dick book out for Halloween. I've done these dicks for Cocktober, but also, like, I mean, Blake, I was on your show for that, and it was 3 a.m. and I was in the basement of the place I was staying in Paris, so that the people I was sharing a room with wouldn't be woken up by me doing a fucking live stream.
Yeah, I remember that.
None of this is well planned. All of this is just like, there's nothing I care more about than comics. I get excited by the idea of, it's not about selling the comics, it's about connecting to people through the artwork. It's about, like, every time a person buys my book, it's because, like, they feel understood or they understand me, and either of those things are fucking fantastic. And I think that there's obviously always going to be a worry that people are going to get, like, oversaturated and they get like, we actually, Richard, we don't need any more of your bullshit. Like 19 books in a year is too many. And by the way, it's 344 books in total at this point. But, like,
Wow.
At the same time, I'm not creating books that are like other people's books. I don't think there's a clear one-to-one comparison with anyone else out there. Obviously, there's like DNA of other people in my work. We're all influenced by things, but, like, I think there is a much larger audience than I've reached. There are a lot of people who feel like outsiders and weirdos in the very specific way that I do, and I will gradually find them over time, and they will not find work that speaks to them like mine does anywhere else. And that is, that sounds like a brag. It's not a brag. It's a like, I'm incredibly grateful that, like, I'm apologizing for my own existence by making books, but I'm also finding other people who can relate to this fucking disaster piece.
I like how you said, though, you said, like, some people, like, they may not need 19 issues of Richard, but, like, look at what, like, the hot people in the big two.
I want to be really clear, Blake. It's not 19 issues. I'm not doing fucking issues.
Or 19 graphic novels.
Yeah, we're not doing single issues.
19,
we're doing 19 full books a year.
That's true, yeah, but still, the like,
yeah, no, I know.
The people getting regular work in the big two are like, they're working on 5-6 books a month sometimes. So, like, I don't see, if you like a writer and you like a comic creator, it takes a lot to get tired of them. And even if you do swing and a miss, when you do miss, when you come back with another one, you have more chances to hit, when you keep producing it. So there's that strategy too. But yeah, I think we're getting plenty of Richard, or if not, we need more. I don't want to say we need more, because then you'll try and do it. And
no, I'm going to
break your ankle or something.
I'm going to go be sociable with friends after this, and then I'm going to come back here instead of going home. I'm going to come back to my office, and I'm going to work for probably another 7 hours, because today I had to spend a solid amount of time researching Comic-Con hotels, and dealing with Mixam's shitty website, which doesn't load previews at the moment. Because I want to have this book printed before the end of the campaign. No, it's what we can't overestimate though is how much money people have, because the world is falling apart. Like I have a backer reached out to me today and like let me know that they've been laid off from their job. Not in a kind of like I can't afford your book way, but in a kind of like just letting me know why some other stuff hadn't happened. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Everyone else, every single person who I only know as a name on a list has a full and complicated life, and we live in hell. I mean, especially in America, but like kind of everywhere is the ripple effects, you know, and we're living in a world where we're all terrified all the time, and climate change is going to destroy us. And even if it doesn't, volcanoes might change weather patterns and no one talks about it. So it's everything is chaos, right? And if you can find your comfort by buying 5 or 6 books by whoever, I mean, you said the hot people at the big 2. I want to know who you think is hot at the big 2 and which of
dude, I have no idea.
Their physical attributes do you find the hottest?
I didn't.
I notice you do the backwards hat so often, try to be like Tom Taylor. I get it. Ran away from the circus to write
This is a beanie, but I do backwards hat a lot.
Oh, you're not doing your backwards hat. Okay.
No, this is because it's cold now, so I can wear little stocking caps now.
That's
nice.
That's no, but like those books are selling for $4, $5, $6.99, and we are on Kickstarter charging more than that just for shipping.
That's true. I will agree. Kickstarter. I was listening to you and trying to say Chip Zdarsky.
Is hot. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Chip's a good looking dude.
And we have I ever told you the Howard Chaykin story? That you'll like the story because it involves tiny sausages. I was so I always have like really good convention food, and so I buy bags of those little tiny beef sausages because you can swallow them fast if a customer comes along, right? And at Baltimore Comic-Con last year, every time I took a fucking sausage out of the bag to eat, a customer would come along before it even got to my mouth. So I just slip it in my pocket. So by the end of the day, I had a pocket full of sausages. And I was at the Ringo Awards at the after party. And I was talking to Heidi McDonald. And, you know, I've known Heidi now for, Jesus Christ, like 15 years. And she is not someone who's known for being like nice. Like she's real New Yorker. Like she's mean and kind. And I went to show her something on my phone. And I took my phone out of my pocket, and 4 sausages fell on the floor. And in an act that I would describe as completely out of character, Heidi just put her hand on my arm and said, "Richard, are you okay?" And all I could do was like I just quietly picked up the sausages and put them back in my pocket, and was like thinking to myself like, how many other sausages are in there that I'm now wasting, because obviously I can't eat these later because they're floor sausages. Obviously I did forget this, and I ate all 11 sausages that were in my pocket, but that's what And then I leave that. I'm a little frazzled, and I run into Dean Haspiel. Dean Haspiel is a fantastic person. Love him dearly. He has many times made me show my nipples to get free drinks at bars when there was an open bar that I didn't know about. But he sees me and he says, he's like, "Are you okay? You look are you okay?" And I said, "Oh, it's just been a rough day." And he jokingly said, "Oh, was Howard Chaykin mean to you?" Because, you know, Howard Chaykin's mean to people. And I jokingly said, "Well, the difficult thing with Howard Chaykin is I think he might be the sexiest person in comics, but he'll never return my affections." And the next day, Howard Chaykin left the show early, which Howard does every year at Baltimore. Every fucking year, he leaves early on the Sunday to get a flight back to California. This is not unusual. But somehow the rumor spread because of what Dean repeated to people, not knowing I was joking. People started wondering, did Howard Chaykin leave Baltimore Comic-Con because Richard made a pass at him and he got uncomfortable?
Wow.
Uh-oh.
So I really think that now I will never get to have sex with Howard Chaykin, and that breaks my heart, you know?
Damn.
That guy has
Comics is just Comics is just a really big high school.
Yeah.
I was on the Queers and Comics panel at San Diego this year, and it was like 5 of us. It was like me, Chris Cantwell, Tilly Bridges. I can't remember who one other person was because I'm a bad person, and Alison Bechtel. And to get back to horror, when I used to teach horror, I would always say the easiest way to make something scary is put something in the wrong place, because it'll throw people off just enough if they just see it there. And my example I'd always give is put corncob holders in the bathroom. People will wonder why they're there forever. And I eventually wrote a comic about this, where a guy goes to a party and everything's chill till he goes to take a piss and finds corncob holders in the toothbrush cup and just like slowly unravels in the bathroom, imagining the reasons why someone would need those there. Because obviously, best case scenario, someone's eating corn while taking a shit. Worst case scenario, they're eating corn while taking a shit, right? And we're about to start this panel, and Allison comes up to me and she goes, "Richard, we've never met." I was like, "Well, we have," and she was like, "We've never met, but I just want to let you know, I really love your work." And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And I was like, "Which thing?" She goes, "I love your corncob story." And I was like, "Cool, like that's great. That's a fantastic thing to be known for, because it does kind of encapsulate everything about me, like drawing pictures of elderly men sitting on the toilet just chomping away on a fucking cob." And I was, kind of in my cups about this. And then we get asked to tell like an embarrassing story from a Comic-Con event. And so I tell in great detail to this audience about the time that I physically assaulted Chris Claremont because I mistook him for my ex-boyfriend. And then the follow-up to that many years later, where I reminded him that it was me because he'd forgotten who I was, because I'm good at everything, and then, made a pass. And the whole point of telling this story is I need to stop telling these stories in recorded spaces.
Yeah, they're gonna see it. They're gonna see it coming.
If there are any sexy elderly men in comics, don't approach me. I won't mix business with pleasure.
That's good. That's some people need to learn that lesson. So I'm glad. I'm glad you already did. That's funny. I made Chris Claremont mad one time too.
This was the thing. Like when I last year I was on my way to New York Comic Con. I was meant to be doing a signing, and then I had a bit of a ping on Grindr from this man, and I went off and did some adult activities with him, and then and I'm sorry if anyone knows the story already who's watching, but because I did feature it in one of my books. But I said to him after the sex, I was like, "You have incredible upper body strength for a man your age." And he said, "Well, yeah, I'm a trapeze artist." And I burst out laughing. And he was like, "What's so funny?" I said, "Look, this is not going to make any sense to you, but like if I go to my work event now and say, 'I'm sorry I was late. I was having sex with a 70-year-old trapeze artist,' no one will believe me, because it's too much of it's a cartoon of a Richard Fairgray story. Like it is like my hot dog powered car didn't work because it got flooded with poppers on my way to a septuagenarian orgy. Like it's that." And he goes, "Oh, you do comics?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I'm in comics." And he springs out of his bed and jumps across the room and grabs this like anthology of gay porn comics that he's in that a friend of mine fucking drew.
Small world.
Small world.
I'm not gonna lie. There's no way we're gonna come back from fucking trapeze artists of any age, and it's getting late, and I have hot dogs to eat, which you reminded me of when you talked about a hot dog powered automobile. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around the room. We're gonna talk. We're gonna tell everybody where to find you, where to follow you, and like anything else I feel like we talked about everything tonight, but if we missed anything else, now's the time. Jay, Sheik, start with you. Where do we see all these cool videos and watch you draw and keep up to date with your stuff?
I try to keep it the same across all platforms. So it's my last name, SCHIEK, Sheikipedia. You can find me on TikTok. I'm less frequent on Instagram these days. I need to catch up there. X, Blue Sky, and YouTube. It's Sheikipedia Shorts. I post everything. Anything goes on TikTok goes to YouTube as well. And then on my website at www.jchic.com. And I'm doing the www because I'm an old man. And I feel like that's necessary still somehow.
: /
Yeah, don't forget the hypertext transfer protocol : yeah.
Wait, do you still call it Home Box Office Maxwell as well?
Was it? Oh yeah, home box office. Yes, absolutely. Cinema Maximum.
No, Maximum's not as funny. Come on.
That's true.
You gotta twist it at the end. That's how horror works.
Skinemax, as we called it, the softcore porn of cable television.
I remember the old Skinemax. Grade school Blake and his friends really appreciated that stuff. And one time we got in big trouble because we called all those phone numbers from those commercials that they would show on those late night TVs. And, there weren't credit cards in those days. They just billed your fucking phone bill. And I never got a number. I never got a number from my buddy Justin Price's mom, but I heard it was bad.
I only recalled those from payphones.
Oh, dude, it was so stupid, dude. We didn't even talk about sexy stuff. We'd be like, "Do you want to come to a party? We invited Shaq." It was. I swear to God, that was one of the things we said because I still remember that. I'm remembering that vividly. Of telling this grown ass woman Shaq's gonna be here. Oh, so dude, we're hilarious. Anyway.
How well did you know Shaq, would you say?
No, not at all. Not at all. Couldn't even tell you his shoe size. It was big.
Sounds like she got the last laugh though after charging your friend.
Oh, I bet she did.
I think I'm pretty sure he's a size 24, 22, 24, something like that.
That's crazy.
Insane. It must be so hard to find shoes.
Not when you're rich, you just order them.
Oh,
he has
to have them custom made. I mean, they're not. He doesn't get them from a store. My brother is almost 6'5", and I think he wears a 15 or 16 size shoe. And,
I've seen 16s in stores, but they were rare.
It's hard to find. It's hard for.
I wear a 14. And it's cramped. My toes are cramped in a 14. So I kind of a 15 might be kind of nice. But I wouldn't know because I can't find them anywhere. It's hard to find 14s. Anyway, it's hard. I'm just a big flat-footed weirdo.
I'm so sorry you're going through. I'm only a 12 and I struggle.
Yeah, that's me too. 11, 12.
Real.
Yeah.
Shout out if the chat wants to donate to my Ko-Fi or sub to the Patreon to help our big footed woes here.
We're gonna go fund me some shoes for Blake.
Go fund me some shoes.
There were flip flops that was stuck some cardboard on the back of.
Oh God! All right, J. Michael, tell us where to keep track of you. And friendly reminder: the link to the pre-launch for his new campaign is in the show notes. You click that, sign up. Working on 100 followers. What else can we do? What else you got going on?
See, I'm kind of the same as Jay. I try and be consistent. I'm J. Michael Donohue. At Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, all that good stuff. I think I finally just came to TikTok. But sometimes I feel like old man shaking his fist at the clouds because I'm like, how do you work this?
Yeah, it's all old man.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, right now, just trying to, like I said, get the word out about the book. Like I said, I even have the copy right here. I already have the first copy all done, printed, ready to go. We launch in March. So yeah, if anybody just goes to the link in the bio or morselscomics.com, that'll take you to the pre-launch page. More people that we get, the more free stuff I'm going to give people. So it's a win-win.
It is a win-win. Shout out to Glamour links. More people should use them. The bit.ly, it's like either a mile long link or the bit. I just don't get a whatever.com. You can do it. You can afford
it. Get a squirt.gov.
Get a squirt.gov.
I would look. Okay, I have until December 31st. I've got domain protection. It's canceled, but like I can re-up it. Horsegoogle.org. Like
Horse Google.
Horsegoogle.org. I stopped renewing it because I was like, I never found a joke that was good enough. All that would happen if you went to it, it would like redirect to a Google search result for horses near me. But like there has to be something better. If anyone knows how to code, what I would like to do is have it go to like, it would look like Google, but with a picture of a horse. And then whatever you typed into Google, it would give you that result plus horse. So you get the horse result of that. And I think that's a really powerful thing to do. So just reach out, richard.fairgray@gmail.com. I'm not giving out my phone number because I don't answer my phone. I've been on Do Not Disturb for 2 years now.
Who calls people? It's so gross. Don't
I
call
people. I love calling people.
No.
I spend like 4 hours a day on the phone.
No. What's up, Paperback Dan? Like Paperback Dan says, don't buy hardcovers and don't call people. I don't know if that's what he says.
People should call and talk to people. I love it. It's a wonderful way to connect with the world.
You know what's funny is I do this, but I hate like when people call me, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you know, but simultaneously when I like need something from my sister, I usually call my sister because it's like faster than texting, right? Because it's like, hey, grab this at the store.
If someone texts me, I'm never going to read that. I'm just not going to.
Thanks, Dan. Dan is anti calling people in non-emergency situations. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. No, I like to call 911 just to chat.
Just to chat. Hi, I'm lonely.
So bored, dude.
Hey, by the way, Richard, where other than kickrichard.com, what's the best things to follow you and watch?
I'm the only Richard Fairgray in the world, so I'm very easy to find. Blue Sky at Richard Fairgray, Instagram at Richard Fairgray author because I lost the password for at Richard Fairgray. I'm just everywhere as that name. If you want to see my cool dick pics, I draw at least 15 dicks a day, and I post at least 2 of them every day, and that's at Dicks by Richard on Blue Sky. I am seriously thinking about doing. I don't draw digitally, but I'm seriously thinking I might start drawing dicks digitally, so I can do these little videos of like Optimus Prime's cock or whatever that Jay won't do.
Did Jay pop up like a fucking?
He got excited.
Like oh man, that was amazing. I was like, man, like you guys gotta do some kind of dick transformer collab.
I've done one dick transformer to show once. I don't like doing robot.
Do like a 3 dick transformer. I feel like stop at one.
Like Devastator, like it's a multi robot.
Any dick can be a Devastator if it believes in itself. I don't like drawing robot themed dicks in general because there's a lot of straight lines. And like my dicks are very like free form and flowing, and I like to get like the bulges and the shapes and the wrinkles, and that doesn't really work. Like so when people are like, "Can you do an Iron Man dick?" I'm like, "No, choose another Avenger, man." Like, sorry,
Hulk.
Yeah, I've done a lot of Hulk dicks. My most popular dicks at shows are D-Rex, which is just a T-Rex that is also a dick. Mr. Potato Dick, which speaks for itself. And my favorite things to draw. I'm going to be putting out a book next year called Dixar, by the way. Like, let's just do a quick early announcement. Dixar, the Dicks of Pixar. And the cover for it's a watercolor painting of Carl from Up with his pants down and a single balloon tied around his penis. And it says, ready to disappoint his wife one more time.
Oh my God.
So it's sad in a different way.
Will I cry by the end of it?
And so if you want, I will be launching a new dick book just called 100 Dicks in January, I think, as part of the Make 100 project, and that'll be at dickstarter.net.
Now,
nice.
will you please only have 99 in there just to mess with people?
No.
Yeah, do like one hidden, like 99 dicks and one hidden.
It's
one.
100 dicks. So but really just have 99 in there. That way if somebody counts.
I've already drawn the 100 dicks, friend.
Damn it.
Yeah. And like only 10 of them are themed. Like it's like 90 just beautiful, well-drawn dicks, all different sizes and shapes, and then like 10 themed ones, like a little sleeping kitten and pterodactyl and a worm on a fish hook.
Kitten.
A little sleeping kitten.
He drew a hot dog dick for me for my birthday this year. Like
I did. And I've drawn the dick with the smiley face on it for you, Blake, but I haven't revealed that one.
Oh yeah, the last time Richard was on, I told the first dick pic I ever sent. I was ass, okay, and I was very nervous, and I was like,
and this is why it doesn't
like
anymore.
But I was like, it just took like a bunch of. I like took a lot of pictures, and I was like, I just don't have. I don't have a photogenic cock, you know. It's like I wanted to be, you know. We didn't have AI filters and fucking Adobe Lightroom in those days. We couldn't, anyway. God, I wish we did. Anyway, I wasn't thinking about it. I took a Sharpie and drew a happy face on the head of my penis. Didn't come off for a long time. Because you can only like scrub it so hard. You can't. It's a tender area. You know, you can't. You can't be, you can't take like a washcloth and just really like just get off of there, Sharpie. You know, it doesn't. Anyway, so
you didn't just dab it with some turpentine.
No, I didn't dip my cock in turpentine either. I should have thought about that. That'll make you feel alive.
Oh my!
Oh,
reminding me of my best friend from junior high. We have these journals that we had to keep for science class, and if you got up to use the bathroom or get a drink of water, he'd come back. And my friend would have drawn like a penis wreathed in swastikas on the cover. And on one memorable occasion, a swastika wreathed in penises. But if he was still around, he might challenge the, at least for sheer quantity anyway. He threw a lot of dicks in his day.
I recently realized that I had drawn my 1,000th dick that I was being paid to draw. Which is just a fucking wild number to reach since March.
Yeah.
So
and you get paid for a lot of them too, which is great. Or you
get
probably all of them.
Professional dicks.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah,
this is a hard working man slinging dicks.
Yeah. Sure, it's fine. You know, everyone's got to be the Michael Jordan of something, and for me, it's ball detail.
I feel like you could really benefit from like a comics OnlyFans page of like just your drawings. I
appeared in some footage that was for OnlyFans that didn't actually end up getting used. A friend of mine has an OnlyFans account. I won't say who, but a former child star who now does pornography. But she was like, I want to do this as art. Can you just be in the background drawing Ninja Turtles or something? I was like, fuck yes, I can. So I'm hoping that she actually does end up using it for something at some point, but it's just her fucking herself with a very specific dildo that a fan had sent her while I drew Raphael behind her.
This is why my YouTube channel has no traction. Apparently, I just do not understand the content that is hot. I don't know what good content is.
Someone is having to hold a piece of cardboard over part of their screen so that they're still able to jerk off. You know? This is my special Richard blocker.
I want to know like the one guy though who was like he's like just really finally he like is just really into it though. He's just like, I've never seen a Ninja Turtle drawn like that before. Like that reminds me of like the fucking 80s Mirage comics when I was a kid.
Like, can you sell the drawing? Do that as part of the whole thing? Like, I don't know, rub it on yourself if you need to, but like, let's make some fucking bank off of this. I'm doing it for fun, but I also like money.
I feel like there is a way to tie it into like a only like, you know, because it's
actually, I will say my Ninja Turtle dicks sell like fucking hotcakes.
Really?
Yeah, people fucking love my little Donatello cock.
Oh, you're that Ninja. I thought you like were drawing like real Ninja Turtles, but no, I've seen your yeah, it was a good. I draw dicks as other things. I never draw other things as dicks, if that makes sense.
Why did balloons just pop up?
I don't know. You did some hand. You could do some kind of hand motion on Apple stuff. I need to figure it out. All right. This is fucking nuts.
I don't have it.
I'm on a MacBook, but I have I think it's on, you have to be on an iPad or a phone or something. I don't know. It's some kind of weird science. Richard, is still Kick Richard and then Kick Dick?
Dickstarter.net and
Kick Richard and Dickstarter.net.
And oh, by the way, I should say
Sport.gov.
the book that is out right now, because I have never said what it's about. It is called Come True.
That's true about dreams.
It's a 100-page horror book about the way that even the best dreams are unsettling, like that queasy, hollow feeling you have when a dream is good because you know that it's not real and there's just always something a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gonna squick some people out pretty hard. It's gonna make some people. I like making books that are like, I want people's reaction to be when they're finished it. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I had what was it, Morsels?
How would you put that in a pull quote? Just like Blake Morgan.
The pull quote is inside the book, but it's one of those like you open it up and it makes a noise like those birthday cards that play Who Let the Dogs Out.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jay. Sorry, dude.
By the way, the answer to that question is it was Panic at the Disco. They had not heard of closing the goddamn door.
There it is.
Oh my!
All right, I'm gonna give you guys one more chance. Is there of all the vast topics we've ventured into tonight? Is there anything else we missed? Anything else you guys have going on right now that you'd like to shout out?
I think we missed horror and marketing. No, I was kidding.
There was mentioned. It was mentioned.
I would just like to say, here's a life hack for every indie comic creator, which is the majority of people who watch these kind of live streams. Start doing podcasts where you don't talk about your comic. Start doing podcasts where you talk about other topics like wine or movies or books or whatever the fuck, where you then make people like you by being charming and fun and then mention your comic when they do this part of the wrap up. Because far and away, the thing that will make people feel endeared to you is knowing who you are more than hearing an hour of you talk about what your comic is. This is why I keep these things unhinged. Whenever I'm on an interview, I tell stories. Sorry for not talking about my books.
No, I totally agree.
It's been fun.
Yeah, that's a solid takeaway.
Oh yeah, that is for real great advice. And not to toot my own horn, but I mean, even like when I've been like, my show's a mess and didn't have faith in myself, like a lot of people told me that. They were like, no, dude, like I like that I come on your show and don't have to talk about my book for an hour. We can talk about other stuff. We have fun. It's, you know,
like we're watching your show because you let people go off about whatever they're doing and you ask questions that are about other things beyond tell us the fucking elevator pitch for your book about, you know, what's the cross pitch of your Baby from Nirvana Nevermind cover meets Tommy Pickles or whatever the fuck. I felt really bad because I made that exact example when I was explaining why I think Artist Alley is a bad place, not knowing that literally that exact picture was right behind me.
I would buy that and hang it though. Like,
would you?
I think I might. I don't know. I'm probably not. You'd probably be put on a list if you bought that, right?
The kid from the Nevermind cover recreates that picture every 5 years. Why does Baby Jessica not do the same thing? Fucking lazy, you know?
That's what we call a mismarketing opportunity. All right. This was a venture, but it was a fun one, and I had a good time. I hope to God somebody clicks on your guys' campaigns. I put you through 2 hours of this. I hope it pays off. Richard, always great to talk to you and listen to your stories. And for anybody listening, I really hope you do listen to him. Be yourself and embrace yourself and put yourself out there. Because if you need to, you're putting your heart out there. Put yourself out there too. Jay Sheik, it was so great to catch up with you, dude. I'm glad things are going well, and it was good to chat, and it's been cool seeing your videos pop up every now and then. It still freaks me out, but you're good at it. And so I hope you keep doing it. J. Michael, it was super fun. Thank you for learning to raise your hand and let the artist speak first. No, we got there. No,
manners.
I really do love Morsels. I loved the first issue when you did it. And I love this new one, and I'm excited to see what you guys got going on. If everybody click those links in the description, follow the campaigns. We got really cool stuff. Making comics is hard. So what are you going to do? Support indie comics. That's what we do. All right. We'll be back probably next week. Yeah, we'll be back next week. I think I may not do Christmas Eve. I haven't decided yet. Christmas Eve is Wednesday. Oh, actually,
take it off.
I have to. We have dinner. I'm not fucking missing dinner. All right. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I probably won't be here Christmas Eve, but I will be here now. I don't know what's going on.
Your dad's birthday for my first appearance. You can miss Christmas Eve.
I did miss. It was because we did his birthday on a Sunday, so it wasn't
okay.
It was his birthday. It's fine. Sorry, Dad. Anyway.
It's fine. Whatever.
I gave him a big old dab. He was fine after that. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Love more, hate less. Read books. Support indie comics. Be nice to each other. Don't be an asshole. Slash ice tires. I didn't say that. I mean, maybe I did say that. Fuck them. Anyway, bye. Sorry.